Hi and welcome to Silver Soul Tarot. Today we are going to do a pick a card reading. So we are going to use the Law of Positivism card deck and then we'll assign stones and zodiac signs, shall we? Right, let's go straight into it. If you are a new viewer, welcome. My name is Jo. If you are a returning viewer, hello. If you are a subscriber, much love. Right, let's take a couple of cards. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so the first card for pile number 1 is I completely surrender to my path. And let's take the rose quartz with that, shall we? Card number 2 is I am one with the infinite consciousness. And with that one, we will take the cherry quartz. And for card number 3, we have got I liberate myself from emotions that don't serve me. And with that one, we'll take the clear quartz. Let's take some zodiac signs for each. Let me move those slightly better. For each pile. So for pile number 1, the zodiac are Aries, Aquarius, Cancer, and Leo. Pile number 2, we have got Taurus, Capricorn, which I know is wrong, it's like backwards, Virgo, and Libra. And for card number 3, we have Gemini, Pisces. That card's not sitting very clearly, is it? Pisces, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. So I will carry on. You pause and I'll meet you in your reading. Take your time to choose which pile resonates with you. Hi there, pile number 1. You chose this pile for a couple of reasons. So I was just moving the table a little bit closer. The first reason is the card, and that is I completely surrender. Let's get that in focus. I completely surrender to my path. Pop that down there. The rose quartz was the stone that we chose. I say we. And the signs, the zodiac signs are Aries. Put that there, Jo. Christ's sake. Aries, Aquarius, Cancer, and Leo. That way. Okay, let's crack on, shall we? So that is the Law of Positivism deck. This is what is this? This is the Intuitive Whispers deck. We'll take one of these just to see what other messages want to come through. We've got the power of silence. Okay, maybe you'll find some, well, surrendering to your path. Maybe you find the next step of your path in silence, but also you're crossing this bridge. So maybe there's a bit of a crossing, so to speak, that needs to be done as your next step on your path. Whenever I see that sort of circular imagery, it's almost like a focus, like your focus might need to be redefined, or your focus needs to be put somewhere else. You've also got that kind of circular energy there on that card too. You also have those wings, so whenever I see wings, obviously that's very much a bird energy, and that's communication. Okay, but it is also kind of like stepping through a portal. She's like looking through she's standing at the portal looking through, although technically I can see the bridge doesn't go through the portal, but maybe she's looking at the next, the next step after she crosses this bridge. Okay, we're going to take one of these Sacred Forest oracles, and let's just see again what other messages want to come through. Air, spirit, and knowledge. Okay. So yeah, maybe there's some sitting in quiet, contemplative energy, thinking about what your next step is. Well, now she's on a boat, so it could very much be a journey, a real sense of a journey. It's also card number 1, which is new beginnings in that sense. So let's see what this path is that you're surrendering to and the next steps that are coming up. We will take also, I can't remember what these are called either. These are the Dream Ritual. Let me put it there so I can see it. The Dream Ritual Oracle deck. We'll just take one of these and see if there's maybe something for our dream state that wants to come through. Manifest. What are you manifesting? What do you want to manifest? Sorry, I've got is that a wasp? Oh, I might have to go deal with that. Got a buzzy thing. Hold on. I literally paused the video on 555, so I'm going to have a little look. I thought before I hit play, record again, I wasn't going to use these, but I'm going to use them. I grabbed the Angel Hour Oracle, so we'll have a look and see what 555 means, because these things don't happen, you know, they normally happen for a reason. Right, manifest. What are you manifesting? Again, you've got this pathway. Whoever picked pile number 1, you're definitely on a journey, and it's an interesting journey. It's a journey that, well, it's this path. You might have a few obstacles, okay? You've got a bridge. Maybe you have to change your mode of transport, but you're definitely on this journey, and there's definitely this sort of portal type energy. I saw it in this one as well, but like I say, you go past it in this one. It's almost like you've got to make it over this the bridge in order to make it to that. Do you know what I want to do? I want to do that, okay? It's like you've got to make it over this bridge and carry on the journey and make it through that portal. That's how I see that. And also, I just want to point out the colour on these 2 cards are almost exactly the same. That sort of green imagery, that green colour, and this sort of floaty cloud. Interesting. Yeah, who you chose this this pile because you are on a journey, and are we on a journey or what? Right, let's go for 555. Oh, look, there you go. Right there. Embrace change. 555 represents a major shift and transition in your life. It is a sign that positive changes are unfolding and that you are being guided towards new opportunities and experiences. The angels are encouraging you to embrace these changes and have faith in the divine plan that it is unfolding for you. Okay? Can't be any more clearer and simpler than that. I'll pop that one kind of there. I don't know where to put that one. I wasn't planning on using it. Yeah, I'll cover up the portal, but you got a portal, okay? You're on this journey. Things are going to change. Like I say, you might have to change mode of transport, for the want of a better word. There's going to be some challenges ahead and some twists and turns, but you're on the right path. And as long as you surrender to it and just keep going, you're going to end up where you should be. I kind of want to show all those cards. Shall I put them across the top? Hold on. That's a bit better. And also I had to get up and let another one of those buzzy things out. So I don't know if someone like flies. Those, they're not bees and they're not wasps. They're those like hovering flies that look a bit like a wasp. I don't know if that means anything to someone. You never know, it might do. It might be something you're constantly dealing with as well. I'm dropping cards, hold on. Ugh. I'm not going to take these, I was just dropping them left and right. Literally, I dropped loads. Right, let's crack on with the tarot. You're probably like, this woman don't shut up. Right. Yeah, so you're on this journey, portal, different modes, different obstacles, but the changes are coming. Okay, so you've got the Hanged Man. Okay, seeing something from a different perspective. Maybe you're in limbo at the moment, kind of, you know, hanging around, trying to figure out the next step of your journey. I want these down. I want these down, Joe. You know, or maybe you're just sort of like needing some sort of enlightenment. It's coming if you haven't already. I mean, this might be your moment of enlightenment, this reading itself. But yeah, but again, see, you're on that journey. There's that pathway. You're hanging from the tree, feet first, obviously, on your journey. It's like someone's just come to a little bit of a standstill. Maybe it's that kind of calm before the storm. You know, that breath. You're just stopped to catch your breath. That's what it feels like. You've just stopped momentarily. You're just kind of like, I know I need to go this way. I'm just, you know, I've just got to let go of a few things, or, you know, mourn a few things even. You've got the King of Pentacles. So there's this stability, and I think you are stable in what it is you're doing, who you are, where you are, you know, all the things that make the King of Pentacles the King of Pentacles. He's stable, you know, grounded. Make the cards a little bit clearer. That's just me being picky. Yeah, so like you are the King of Pentacles. You could be an earth sign. Doesn't have to be an earth sign. But I do feel like this is just someone who's you're just on a breather. Just taking that, waiting for that next step, whatever that might be. Like, I think you're just waiting for the sign, and I think this might be your sign. So there's Temperance dropped on the floor. So yeah, there's energy brewing, okay? There's a transformation taking place, reconciliation possibly, but you know, I don't think this is a love reading. This is all about you, as it should be. Yeah, this is about, you know, pouring water on the flames where needed. Now, there are a couple of fire signs here, so maybe you are a fire sign, but I do feel it's much more about just sitting there, you know, on her rock. She's just taking that, you know, just transmuting that energy, pouring it from one cup into another. Like I say, I feel like you're just on that. Let's go. I feel like you're on the exhale. 12-12 as I said that. I don't think you're on the inhale. I think you're on the exhale. And there's the Ace of Wands, that new beginning. Fiery, passionate energy again. Like I say, there's a couple of fire signs here, but there's that new beginning, that new passionate, purposeful. Like I say, you're on the exhale. Okay, so don't worry, whoever's picked this, I don't think you're slow in any way. I don't think you're behind in any way. I think you're just breathing. You're preparing yourself. Two of Wands, that's not Wands, that's Two of Pentacles. So yeah, balance. Again, balance there with Temperance as well. Maybe there's just a few things you need to sort out. You're just readjusting energies and preparing yourself to take that next step, to follow your path, to go through that portal, to get on the boat wherever you are on the journey. Okay, you got the Four of Wands. 11-11. It is a twin flame soulmate connection, but in this sense, I think that's just more about celebration, stability. I mean, commitment, as in commitment to yourself, or maybe you're committing to this new journey, which is for yourself as well. I'm going to put the next layer on top, so let's bring those down. Right. Got the Five of Wands. This card, honestly, it haunts me. Yeah, so maybe you're just in that sort of moment of conflict, okay? Conflicted a little bit on maybe exactly which step left to take, you know, which one you're going to take next. Are you going to, you know, nothing's ever easy and nothing's ever that fluid. Like, you know, you could be at a crossroads here with Two Pentacles. You know, do you put more energy into this pentacle, or do you put a little bit more energy into this pentacle? It's like, it doesn't matter which way you choose, your outcome's going to be the same. You know, do you walk a little bit longer, or do you get on that boat now, or do you do you get on the boat in 10 days time, or do you get on the boat tomorrow? It's that sort of vibe I'm getting with what it is that you're contemplating. It's just for whatever reason, you know, you're just in that Hanged Man energy. I say conflict. I don't think it's like necessarily actual, you know, arguing with yourself. It's just that kind of, well, if I do that and then I can do that. It's like you're doing it in the sense of what is right for your life. Like, not, I mean, I could say go left, but going left tomorrow is not going to help you if there's something on the right that you still need to deal with, if that makes sense. It's really bad. But, like, there's no point telling you to get on that boat if you haven't got your sea legs. You know, maybe you need to walk and do a bit of practice on your walk about getting into a boat. I mean, maybe you haven't bought a life jacket yet, and I'm telling you to get in the boat, and you're like, but I haven't got a life jacket. Give me a week and I'll get one, and then I can get on a boat. That's probably a better analogy. You've got the Judgment, okay? Judgment card coming out. So yeah, this is your calling to start the next step, whatever that might be for you, in whatever way that is for you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, there's your Judgment. You're being called to action. This is the next step. This is your path. This is what's going to lead you on to your most abundant future self. Whatever it is you've been manifesting. The Three of Cups, yeah, there's a celebration, you know, happiness, abundance. I have to keep focusing. Yeah, I mean, it could be maybe with friends, you know, family, or just being sort of guided by the divine, you know, whatever's beyond the veil, your guides. Maybe they're just leading you on. Yeah, be the Queen of Wands, be confident. Don't care what anyone else says. Don't listen to me. I ain't got a fucking clue what you're going through. Do you know what I mean? Like, take the next step however you wish, and in whatever way you wish. Long and Winding Road just came to mind, that song. I'm not going to sing because Joe's not a singer, but Long and Winding Road. The Three of Wands. Okay, again, you've got that winding road. There's definitely a sense of path. There's no doubt about it. When you chose that one, you are right. You are on your path. But the Three of Wands is getting out your comfort zone. Okay, it's putting out those good intentions. You know, sending it out to the world what it is that you want. Manifestation. What is your next step going to be? Pop it in the comments below. I'd love to know. Oh, we'll take that one. The Queen of Swords. Okay, be clear, open, honest in your communication, not just with yourself, but with your spirit guides and whatever your path might be. Maybe pay a little bit more attention to your intuition, set boundaries. But again, you've got, where was the other butterflies? I can't remember now. This sort of transformative energy. Was it Temperance, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, this transformative metamorphosis of who you are, you know, your thoughts, your intuition, your knowledge, that truthfulness. But it's about being truthful with yourself, to yourself, and don't be afraid to embrace changes. Okay, let's take a couple of healing mantra just to close out the energy and finish off the reading, just so you can see what they were. Poke them up a bit. Okay, so the first card we will take is Sharing Shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. Okay, so that's maybe something you need to be a bit more truthful about. Maybe that's why you've been stuck in this sort of healing energy and, you know, turning energy from, you know, pain into drive even. You know, maybe that's what you've been stuck. Maybe that's why you ended up in Hanged Man position. You just stumbled a little bit. Like I say, I think you're on the breath out than the breath in. Inspiring others. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. Maybe that's where the Three of Cups comes in. Working with others, you know, asking for help, encouraging them, lifting them up for you to also be lifted up. I'm sure it's the same bugs keeps coming in. That's the third one. I'm going to leave it there. Say thank you very much for watching pile number 1, and I will catch you on the next one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hi there, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. You are here because you chose one or some of these things, and this first one out is the card, and we've got I am one with the infinite consciousness. The bird symbol would suggest some communication or taking flight. Again, you've got that sun. How do I say again? You've got that sort of illumination there with the sun. Interesting imagery on that card. I had to change the way I was laid it out in the pile number 1. We'll see if I need to do that in this one. Well, this was the cherry quartz, if I remember correctly. And the star signs we have are Taurus, Capricorn. Oh, it froze me because it's not right. Virgo and Libra. It's almost like it's backwards. It's very confusing. Right, let's crack on. So next up is the Intuitive Whispers, and that one clearly wanted to come out on the shuffle. And that card is Your Body is Like a Book. Okay. Yeah, it is like a book. If you think book, holds information, you can write in on paper, you can adjust it, you can scribble bits out and start again. So yeah, I mean, like, think of it like that you are writing your book as you go. A lot of people with tattoos will say that, it's a self-expression, it's a way of documenting specific things in their life. That comes to mind. So again, you've got a couple of birds here. You've got the kingfisher and what appears to be an owl. And again, with books, I mean, it's a good way of communicating, getting, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, getting ideas and things out there. We've also got the butterflies there with some transformation. She's laying there, You've also got the symbol of the snake. The snake is all about renewal. We'll see if I need to move them. I had to change them in the last one because it made more sense, but we'll see on this one. So the next oracle card we will take is the Sacred Forest Oracle. And we've got Wise Woman of the Grove with Grace. Well, got this shining gem. Rubies might mean something to someone. It is red. We did have the cherry quartz with this one. Let me put them over there out of the way. So yeah, red could be specific. She's wearing red, but it's, very much just wise, and reading can make you very, it's more of an intellectual sort of thing. You can learn a lot by reading. I mean, it depends what your preferred subject matter is, but there could be some like knowledge here. Okay, you might be or somebody might be communicating some knowledge to you. It could be coming from the infinite consciousness. You might be getting downloads via, the divine. We will take another oracle, which is the Dream Ritual Oracle. Let's just see if maybe you might be getting it through the dream state or meditative state, in that kind of dreamlike energy. Balance. Okay. You've got 4 quarters there, and they are all somewhat equally balanced. I mean, the time 10:25 might mean something to you. I did use my Angel Hour oracles in the first one, but I don't think it's got 10:25. We'll see if any other numbers come up. If we need to use them, we can pull them out. They weren't like planning. I wasn't planning on using them, but it kind of just happened in the first one. If we need them, they're there. Right, let's hit the tarot, shall we, and eke out this energy a little bit more. So the first card over is the Emperor. The Emperor's all about making power moves. He's the King of Kings. He's, he's the warrior. He's been through it, but he's come out the other side, more knowledgeable, more powerful, more heart-centered, more thoughtful, more intellectual. He's the King of Kings, so he embodies all of them. Pentacles and cups and wands and whatever the other one is. Air. Swords. Thought. Whatever the other one is. Got a good sort of mixture here. We've got earth, water, air, balance. Libra is all about balance. The Page of Pentacles. There could be an offer coming in. You could be learning something with the book. And this, I feel there's going to be a little bit of communication where you might learn something, especially it's something maybe from an older person, an older woman. But I think there's some communication coming in, some sort of knowledge and understanding. You got the Empress and the High Priestess. You could be getting something about a new beginning or something about abundance. You know, the Empress is the Queen of Queens in that sense. She's you know, you got the divine counterparts there with the Emperor and the Empress. But you know, she's birthing this new cycle. She's the Venus card, and Venus rules not only Taurus but also Libra. Okay, now it's all about self-worth, self-value, self-respect. Venus and is it the sacral chakra? I think, or is it solar plexus? I can't remember. I think it's the solar plexus. Yeah, okay, so there's a sense of purpose, a sense of self. Okay, maybe you'll be getting a download via spirituality. The High Priestess is the spiritual card. She is intuition. She is feminine. I say she's feminine because of the moon, and the moon is feminine energy. So yeah, I mean, there's this transformative as well with the butterflies, this sort of metamorphosis of type energy. I think you're about to receive some very interesting download, or some sort of uptake in your spirituality, some sort of step forward in your spiritual journey. Now, pile number one, was all about a journey. Like I say, if you go and if this resonates with you, have a little look about the journey. Like I say, I moved the cards because it was easier to visualize the path that was being laid out in front of you. So have a look at pile number one if that resonated. Otherwise, just know that you are on this journey. You could have gone through a little bit of a loss, a little bit of sadness and disappointment, even with the Five of Cups coming out. You know, it's all about sort of crying over these 3 cups, but then not forgetting and realising that you've got these 2 cups. Now, these 2 are being brought in by these fairies. I say fairies, they could be angels, but it's a crystal visions, and I look at them and that they're fairies. And it's almost like, don't forget don't forget these. You haven't forgotten, have you, that you might have lost A, B and C, but you still got, P and Q. So it's about finding that balance, as I put it, under balance of, yes, you've lost some things along the way, but you've also gained some things, knowledge, understanding. You know, you might have lost some physical things, but you've got the lessons that were learnt in that sense. Like you've still kept the lessons, you just maybe have lost some physical things. The Three of Swords, so yeah, maybe you've been heartbroken, a little bit sad, maybe you've been through some breakup, or as I was saying, maybe you've lost some material things. Maybe someone here may have just gone through an emotional breakup. You've maybe had to move home, leave some things behind. But I would definitely trust the divine and trust that these things happen for a reason. And I know that's really easy to say. But just trust. Trust that you are going to be shown the next step, that you've got the information already within you, or it's going to be given to you very soon. And it's going to help bring in some balance. These 2 cards don't want to come apart. The Sun, yes. Happiest card in the deck, big fat yes, sunshine, guidance. The butterflies now are all being, you've got 3 cards with butterflies on, are all being pulled towards the light. There's illumination, there's guidance. The sunflower card, the sunflower plant is actually quite a healing plant. I think most of it, if not all of it, can be eaten. Please don't go around eating them without double checking my information there. I don't want anyone to be ill. But I know that the stem is very fibrous and it can be used in a lot of ways. Very kind of post-apocalyptic type energy with the sunflower. Like if there's a pathogen in the soil or there's something wrong with the soil, you can use the sunflowers to help heal that and cleanse it. So they're quite interesting plants in and of themselves. But they always point towards the sun. So yeah, there's this illumination, this yes, you've been through this, but you got to own it, but trust that you're being guided. and you'll get this information. If you don't already know what you're like, you don't already know this information, maybe it's something in your physicality that's going to help you. The Two of Pentacles, there's that balance again. Okay, that's you know, making sure that you're not putting too much energy into feeling sadness and disappointment. It's very easy. There's 3 cups and only 2 up here, but don't forget, you know, you can move this energy as you wish. Okay, your body, like, if you know, move it. If your body's sick and tired, then treat it differently. You know, if you're, you know, you've got breakouts on your skin, then start eating healthier, drink more water. You know, if your left knee's getting a little bit stiff, then do certain exercises. You know, talk to a physiotherapist. I'm not a doctor or anything, so, you know, speak to a professional, but move the body in a way that's going to be healing rather than a detriment to it. Take the download, that card when it's come out. Got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. There's this world that we're living in where there's this instant gratification. There's like, I want it now, I want it now, I want it yesterday, I've got to do it, I've got, you know, I haven't got time, boom, boom, boom. There's this real sense of speed in this world where, you know, no one's on the same path and no one's going to reach that destinations at the same time. Slow and steady wins the race. You've got to take your time to heal, okay? This new beginning's waiting for you. Like I say, you could be learning something, or you could be getting an offer from someone older, potentially. You know, you've got the wise woman. Doesn't have to be feminine, doesn't have to be masculine either. It can be whatever the consciousness is that we are all attached to. I don't believe it's either male or female, if I'm completely honest. I don't think there is that binary construct in the ethereal realms. I think it works well in biology because you have to have it in the natural world, and the 3D world is all about biology and natural. You know, you have to have it in order for procreation so that we keep this simulation going. But in the spirituality realm, I don't think it's as important. It's only something that we're kind of given to focus on down here to divide. And I do believe there is a real sense of conquering and divide and conquer on this plane at the moment. But that's a whole other conversation. We do have the Hermit on the bottom. Okay, so you have that healing energy from the star in the lantern pulling you forward on your next journey. You will hit this peak with the Hermit where they reach the top of the mountain. They've reached, you know, they've learned all they can learn. They've been at one with the divine, and they've sat and they've contemplated and they've learned and they've found that wisdom. Okay, so I think when this all happens, so it doesn't help when I've taken the focus away, when you find that balance, you get over this heartbreak, you take those power moves forward, you make the changes, yada yada yada. I think the Hermit is the card that will come up at the end and move you forward. You'll have to come down off of your mountain and start your journey one step at a time. Like I say, I don't think there's anything to rush here. This is a very slow and steady wins the race kind of energy. Pile number 2. Let's take I think I took 2. Let's take 2 healing mantras just to finish off the reading, close out the energy. Pay attention to your body, pay attention to your spirituality. You are a mind, body and soul complex, okay? It doesn't seem to be, do you know what, I say that, it doesn't seem to be anything here about mind, but I think the balance is what is needed in the mind, okay? You need to balance your 3, your, you know, spirituality, your physicality and your mentality. Rewiring the nervous system. I find strength in surviving my traumas. Exactly. Yes, you're going to go through it, whatever that is. But it's not the end of you. It's either going to make you or break you, and well, don't let it break you. Find the Trinity balance. Untangling neglect. I take my time to give myself all the approval I desire, yet there's no rush here. Okay, slow and steady wins the race, pile number 2. Please, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3. You are here because you chose one or some of these trinkets here on the table, or the card. Let's get that into focus for you. I liberate myself from emotions that don't serve me. Okay, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I should remove that. It's just casting a shadow. What is it? A stone. The is the clear quartz. Sorry. We've got Gemini. Why can't I remember that? Is Pisces. Sorry, it's been a long day. And Scorpio. Sagittarius. Oh, you can't see those. I do apologise. Let's move them up a little bit more. Not that we really need to keep an eye on them, but there we are. And get it into focus for you. Just, for some reason, this phone keeps playing up with its focus today, so I'll try and keep it in focus for you. Okay, so you liberate yourself of the emotions that no longer serve you. So yeah, this is all about cleansing. Okay, you've got a water sign there, 2 water signs there. There's obviously water here with the on the card as well. It's very cleansing, very flowing, so keep flowing. And you have some of the different elements as well. Again, water. I mean, there's wood there, there's sun. You know, there's different, and maybe this could be a sense of getting out into nature. I'm getting that with this reading so far, of just, you know, getting out, get some sun, get some fresh air, get your feet in water or in the earth or in sand, maybe going to the beach. This is, what is this? Is the Intuitive Whispers Oracle. The magic of nothingness. Yeah, maybe literally getting out and just sitting on the beach, or sitting, you know, under a tree in a park with a bit of lunch and just chilling. Do you know what I mean? I feel, yeah, this is a definite sense of chill. Okay. Liberate yourself from the emotions that no longer serve you. Let them go. Let go. Let go. Let God. Feel it, heal it, move on. You've got, obviously, again, this very sort of, whenever I see this circular energy, especially on these cards, the Intuitive Whispers card, I always think of a focus, kind of refocusing, or even a portal. But you've got that sun sort of shine in the middle, you know, definitely getting out and just getting out and being chill. Just chill. Seems to be what's coming through with this reading, which is very interesting. Okay, and the next oracle card we're going to take is the Sacred Forest. And we've got Frog Spirit with Renewal. Chill, get out in nature, let go of the old emotions and go through a little bit of a transformation and, you know, renew yourself. You know, you have to be a tadpole in order to be the frog. You know, you have to be the caterpillar in order to be the butterfly. Okay, but you also have to have that time of transition, that time where you change. Obviously a frog just kind of grows into tadpole, but they still have to grow the legs, and the tail, you know, shrinks up. The butterfly obviously slightly different. So yeah, just again, there's that water imagery there. So being around water, being around the sea, a lake, taking baths, showers, you know, cleansing yourself in that sense seems to be something that wants to come through in this reading. Let's take a Dream Ritual Oracle card, just see if anything wants to come through the ethereal realms or in your dreams. Create. Okay, create. So maybe, you know, the magic of doing nothingness, but doing something that, I know you're like, Jo, you're like contradicting yourself, but sometimes doing nothing is not doing nothing. It's just maybe not doing something that is necessarily proactive, but can just be quite therapeutic. So maybe, you know, just doodling rather than painting a masterpiece, or, you know, sitting there and listening to music can be quite creative. It can set your brain waves off in different ways, can't it? It can, when they do those experiments where they hook people up to machines and MRIs and things while they're playing different mediums and, you know, different stimulus. So, you know, getting creative, it doesn't have to be making money. It can just be a hobby, you know, doing something, just, you know, sitting on a beach, like I say, sitting on a beach and eating your lunch, or reading a book, or doodling, you know, doodling came in, or whatever, however it resonates with you. But yeah, there's definitely a sense of, you know, chill. I mean, maybe maybe you do something quite artistic for a living. This has come in, so this must be a message for someone. And you've kind of lost that sense of, there's a fly, go away, fly. That sense of, I don't want to say creativity, because that's not the right word, but the sense of doing it for the love of doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, almost like it's kind of become a little bit mundane and a little bit predictable, and I don't want to say boring, but maybe for someone there's a message out there of, like, if you're in the creative field, it's time to take a fresh look at what you're doing and why you're doing it, and find the love of it again. Okay. You got the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords, just always be a little bit careful with the Page of Swords. It could be communication. Get in focus. There could be a little bit of communication, a little bit of chatter. Whenever I hear the Page of Swords, I think, oh, there's a lot of going on. Like, your head can be in a little bit of a funky space. You could just, again, be careful of anything like spying, or looking at too much at other people and not worrying about yourself, but not preparing yourself, comparing yourself to other people a little bit too much, you know, and not doing something because you want to do it. That could be one of the things you need to liberate yourself from. The Six of Swords. Yeah, there's your liberation. That's sailing onto calmer waters. It's leaving behind the swords that you don't need anymore, the ways of thinking, the thought processes, the things you've been telling yourself for years are true, but they're actually not. And that's whether it's emotions or otherwise. But yeah, whatever this is that you need to leave behind, there's a Six of Swords, leaving it behind. That is also a card of actual movement. So there could be, you know, maybe that's where your renewal comes in. It could be renewing something, a new career or something like that, a new job, a new home. Take that as it resonates. I can't shuffle. You got the Death card. Yeah, okay, so life is not taken, it's transformed. I'm not even going to attempt, but that's what that means. There's that butterfly energy, that renewal energy that we were talking about over here, but that is renewal. It's death, is, you know, it's life isn't taken, it's transformed. Butterflies transform, frogs transform. You will transform when you walk away from what is no longer serving you. These emotions that just are not conducive to the way that you're living, and to the way that you talk about yourself is not good for you, or it's something like that. But it's definitely a sense of chill, you know, chill and relax and take your time. I had that in pile number 2, so if pile number 2 resonated with you for any reason, then please by all means have a little look. Yes, this card, I'm sure this card came up in pile number 2 as well. Yeah, the Sun, happiest card in the deck. Yes, follow the light, okay. I say that because you've got this light shining, obviously the sun shining in here. You got that light coming in with the Death card. You had that sort of light energy there with that card as well. Follow the light, follow your path's journey. If that resonates with you, that's pile number 1. And that was very interesting read. I actually quite enjoyed pile number 1. Not that I'm not enjoying this one, but you know what I mean. It was a very interesting read. But there's this real sense of a journey again, this renewal. Yeah, the renewal is the journey. And you get to create that however you want it to be. You know, you are the manifester. You are the creator of your own life, your own journey, your own outcome. You got the Moon. I do need a drink, but I haven't got one to hand, so let's just keep going. You got the Moon. Okay, so the Moon is intuition. It could be that there's something being hidden from you. I don't see anything else here, actually. If anything, it's the complete opposite. I think it's that sense of the path ahead being illuminated for you, even though you're going to have dogs and wolves howling at and barking at you and trying to push you back, turn you round, sway you from your path. I think you'll keep going and you'll make your way through this path. Again, you got butterflies in that card. I know this deck has a lot of butterflies in it, but not all the cards have butterflies on them. So there is that definite sense of renewal, that rebirth. We've got next the Three of Wands. Okay, so the Three of Wands is getting out of your comfort zone. Okay, it is standing on the sidelines. Some people say it's standing on the sidelines. I think it's more, what, you know, are you putting those intentions out into the world, or are you waiting for your hard work to sort of pay off? With this card, I think it's much more about that sphere pumping out the light. It's like putting your heart center out. It's like glowing out, and again, that light being shone, but only this time it's yours. The Queen of Swords there wanted to come over. She's all about setting boundaries, okay? Being thoughtful, again, intuition, intellect, just being a little bit more mindful about whatever the next step is going to be for you. Think it through. Don't rush. Again, pile number 2, don't rush. If that resonated with you, go and have a little look. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Jesus, Joe. Wins the race. Yeah, just keep following that light, whatever that light might be and wherever it leads you. Because you've done the hard work. You've got the Eight of Pentacles. You've got the skills. You've got the knowledge. It's not saying that you can't continue to learn and inform yourself and all those sorts of things. But, you know, use your skills and your knowledge and your passions in your creative endeavours and in this releasing yourself. And, you know, you haven't got anything to prove. The magic of doing nothing and, you know, chilling, you haven't got to prove anything to anyone. You haven't got to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know, just so that people think that you're whatever this, you know, vision is that they this pedestal they put you on, or whatever it is that they think you are. You haven't got to prove anything to anyone. Just keep going. And you've got the Two of Pentacles. This has come up. Has this come up in everyone? I think it might come up in everyone. It was definitely in yeah, it's not all this focus. Definitely in the last one, I'm sure. Yeah, there's this balancing that needs to take place of, you know, resting, recuperating, but working. You know, I'm not saying like don't do anything and just sit on the beach all day, but on your lunch break, sit and chill. You know, on your days off, get out into nature. Allow the energies to flow. Allow the death and rebirth to happen. The more you fight it, I think you saw that weird little bug then, the harder it's going to be in the long run, and the more tired you're going to be and the more cranky you're going to be. You kind of got to just let it happen, you know, let it flow. And we had that from the beginning, and let the renewal happen. Yeah, this I mean, the magic of doing nothingness is just to let it happen. You know, let it. There's that book, and I don't think I've got absolutely no intention of reading it, because I think the title says it all, and I kind of don't really see the point of having a book when the title gives away everything. Let them, you know. Now I understand there's probably a lot more to it, but no, I agree with that sentiment in it of itself. Let them. If people want to talk badly about you, let them. If people want to, you know, I don't know, walk away from you, let them. Just as much as I think they should let you do you and let them do them. You know, I don't understand why anyone's got to get involved. Right, let's finish off this reading, close out the energy with a couple of healing mantras, and well, there they are. They fell out. Receiving elation. I am born of infinite joy. Fabulous. Illuminating the truth. Well, there's that illumination. I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Yeah, just allow the energy to flow and just see where it takes you, because wherever it's going to take you, it's where you're meant to be. I'm going to leave it there and say thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.